Correct. And again, we couldn't really use soy inks for the same reasons. Okay, so we now know that we can use more sustainable board for our packaging, and we can go research other things for packaging, but then we look at different areas of the business to see how we can become green in that way.
Right.
Like composting, recycling, we do all that internally and on a factory level. Or we'll also give certificates to support sustainable other businesses that might be happening, in other countries.
Sure.
There's a lot of things to do for green, whether it be with light bulbs, packaging, car emissions, composting. We do what we can do that's appropriate for our company and that we can afford.
Yeah, and that's important as well for a small business. What about you, Anthony? What are you doing these days?
Part of the challenge is there isn't, as far as I know, what is considered certified green. A company can say they're green, but if you're not in there with them, you don't know if they're green or not. So I think it comes down to your values, your personal values.
You're correct, versus just marketing.
Exactly. So for us, composting is something and recycling is something we do, on a regular basis. And when I say we're very, very small. The we is most of these hands. In our day-to-day practice, we are constantly looking at ways, just to, it's very simple, set aside a couple of pails for composting and bag for recycling. And if you start getting that as a practice, it becomes second nature.
No, I know, Greg, I was so excited for you to be at the table because you're one of the founding members or creators of Odwalla, and this is your second venture. Now, how did you start that? I mean, where do you start making juice from? Did you just start it at home and then go to find a co-packer somewhere?
Well, it's a great question because this is with people starting up their businesses. There's two big choices you have to make. Do you want to build a plant or the equipment and all the things that it takes to produce the product, in which you do get a lot of control.
Okay.
But you also have to raise a lot of capital, or you become focused on just the production, which is only one, I don't want to call it a small part, but
it's just one part of the business.
Marketing and selling your product and promoting and all the things that you need to do to get out there in the world. It takes your eye off of that ball a little bit.
Sure.
So there's two choices. Now, our new company, Adina, we are using co-packers. So at Odwalla, we did everything ourselves.
So you have an actual factory. You were the manufacturer.
And, there are two different lifestyles, two different approaches that both have their pluses and minuses.
So I'm wondering about your product and how do you control chocolate from becoming, that ashy white color,
When you talk about the chocolate turning white, what's happening there is a balloon. If there's a sugar or a cocoa butter balloon, that can happen if the chocolate is heat shock or get moisture. So the preservative aspect of chocolate is the coating of chocolate around the center. So what's inside the chocolate in the middle can be have butter or creams in it that can cause it to turn rancid. So you have to be concerned about all these aspects of production and distribution, so when it gets to the store, it's not sitting on the shelf improperly. The other thing you have to do is consider it's seasonal. So we do a lot of internet sales. So we're shipping all across the country. This time of year it starts to change. Up until this point you can ship anywhere and not be too concerned. Now you can start, I'm on the internet checking weather.com when people are shipping. So I want to know if it's going to ride, it's going to be warm there.
So you ship it in cold packs then?
Yeah, shipping in cold packs. So,
but only in the summer months.
Well, in some places the summer months are very long.
Oh, I guess it depends.
Yeah, so you think you can get it anywhere, but then you sit down and realize 90% of the country is having, 85, 90 degree temperatures, and you have to be really concerned about that.
So how do you choose a co-packer? Not only that, how do you make sure the co-packer doesn't sell your recipe to someone else? Because that would freak me out.
Well, integrity is a big thing, because you mentioned, and I've had all the things happen, so stealing your recipes and all that in the competition. So everyone should go into it with open eyes. The other thing is that scale. Just be honest with yourself when you're small. You don't have to go for the try to present yourself as a big shot. It's better to try to find someone that is used to dealing with small outfits and beginning operations where you don't overcommit on the